Have I told you about the Keeper of Quiet Crimes? In the lowlands of Valhallow, where dawn always looked a little guilty, and dusk lingered like a secret with sharp teeth, there lived a man named Rurik. He was known as the Keeper of Quiet Crimes. Not criminal crimes, not the kind carved in court records, not the kind punished by kings. No, Rurik collected the tiny wrongs people committed against themselves. The dreams they discarded because someone laughed. The forgiveness withheld because pride was addicted to power. The bravery postponed until the moment was too late to use. He gathered these little failures the way others gather firewood, and in the hidden chamber beneath the city he stored them in glass jars that glowed faintly with regret. Rurik believed that if he carried the people's quiet crimes, they would never have to. He called it mercy, but it was something else. Then the day the jars began to crack. One winter, the jars began to fracture in the cold. Hairline cracks at first, thin as lost chances, then deeper breaks, jagged as broken promises, finally shattering, a thunder of truth escaping confinement altogether. Regrets spilled into the streets like ghosts finally allowed to remember their names. People felt it instantly. Old failures resurfaced, abandoned ambitions returned like a fever dream. Choices they thought buried rose up like storms in their chests. Panic shook the city, as if every heart had been forced to face its own unfinished business all together at the same time. They demanded answers, and Rurik hid. He locked himself in the chamber with the broken jars as regret poured all around him, drowning him in a flood of unmet potential. And then came a girl with an unshaken voice. When the city's fear grew too loud, a girl named Nera walked into this chamber. No weapon, no anger, just a lantern and a steadiness Rurik had not seen in years. "What have you done?" she asked. Rurik, surrounded by spilled regret, whispered, I took what people could not bear. I thought I could protect them from their own failures." Nera knelt in the ruins. "You cannot protect people from the work they refuse to do." He shook his head. "I wanted to spare them the pain." Her lantern cast a long shadow that split the chamber like judgment. "Pain is how people learn," she said. "You stole their lessons, and you called it compassion." The words hit him like a truth long overdue. In this reckoning, Nera picked up a glowing shard from the shattered regret jars, its light trembling like a confession that had waited just too long. "This regret is not yours," she said. "Neither is that one. Or that one. You hoarded other people's healing because you didn't want to face your own." Rurik's breath broke, because he saw it. In the corner of the chamber lay 3 jars, more luminous, more fractured, more painful than all the rest. His own. The dreams he'd abandoned, the courage he'd postponed, the love he'd denied himself out of fear of being known. He had built a cathedral of regret to avoid the small shrine of truth inside his own chest. And then a release. At Nera's urging, Rurik lifted his own jar. It pulsed, bright, burning, brutal. Every moment he'd ever betrayed himself in, and then he opened it. The regret did not attack. It did not accuse. It did not shame. It simply flowed through him like a river returning to its source, aching, cleansing, real. And when he exhaled, the city exhaled. Every regret rising in the streets settled back not into jars but into hearts ready, finally ready to accept and transform them. People wept, then people healed. People changed because regret was no longer a ghost but a guide. You cannot carry someone else's inner work. You cannot absolve them by absorbing what they refuse to face. And you cannot heal yourself by hoarding the healing of others. Regret must be revealed to be redeemed. Pain must be faced to be freed. And accountability is the birthright of every soul that hopes to grow. If you hide someone's regret, you steal their redemption. If you hide your own, you're stealing life from yourself, the very essence of it.